All right, guys, welcome to
So,
another episode of Push Block Chronicles. I keep saying you have to change that name because there's already a Push Block, but who cares? We're here to
uh,
continue on our adventure with the Infinity Saga rewatch. Woo! Clap, clap,
ooh,
clap. Um, what do you guys think so far about the movies? We're at phase three now. We're pretty much almost
wow,
done, and
are
a lot of universes have been expanded. So first we got what was the first universe that got expanded? Probably say like
is
probably like Thor. Thor was
yeah,
like the first one where it's like fantasy magic,
yeah,
and then
deep space, not just like accessible space. You have to like take the Bifrost.
yeah, it's not like, oh, here's Hubble Space Telescope. Like you gotta go
Yeah,
farther than that. It's like a mission and a half. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And then they opened it up a little bit more with
the Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy. We got to see like more casual aliens because I think
Yeah,
like Thor and them are a little bit too serious, all about conquering realms and stuff.
I know, right?
Yeah, Guardians
Chill.
was like the everyday people type of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
vibe to it, which was like
Well,
really cool.
bounty hunters, criminals.
Oh yeah, if you really think about it, they should be like in prison. They
Yeah,
kill a lot of people in the movies.
they're like the A team.
Yeah,
I think.
18. They killed people, right?
I don't remember. I never watched it. I just remember Mr. T a lot for some reason. I just know I have a clear vision of Mr. T always. This is so
I
crazy.
don't know how that is. He like your spirit animal or something?
No, I don't
Uh,
know.
that's B.A. Baracus, man. That's fucking
Barakist?
B.A. Baracus.
B.A. Baracus. Oh, yeah. Fuck. That's his government.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I ain't getting no damn plane. I pity the fool, right? That's Richard
Man, I
T.
can't believe they made that other movie in the recent years, too. That
Oh, the new
was
A
weird.
Team with The Rock,
Yeah.
I think, and
XX. The
oh no,
Rock.
sorry, Rampage Jackson, like the MMA
Yeah,
fighter.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Shouts to the A Team, I guess. Uh, but yeah, so
What are we talking about?
it's like that opened up the universes. Ant
Yeah.
Man also opened up a different type of universe,
Oh,
which is
yeah.
like the quantum realm. And then I think this is the next one. This is the next universe that's about to be opened up, and it's a little bit hard to explain because in the movie it doesn't even fully explain it.
Yeah.
Right? They just said nothing makes sense.
Yeah.
just take
Baron
it, bro.
Mordo was like, just forget it. Forget everything. Like,
Yeah,
oh shit.
yeah, exactly. Forget everything you know and just like go with the vibe, man. Chill. He's like magic Tony Stark. He's like magic Stark. Same type of guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Needs to humility. Needs to get some of that humble pie. He won too many
Very
majors. He won too many majors. That's what it was.
wow.
Right?
So
He's like,
many rings on his hands.
like so many headphones in your head, like Chris G, right? Got in his head.
This guy was like isolated from the world because
Yeah.
he was getting so many sponsors.
Noise
My God.
cancellation. That's what it was. He didn't want to hear that. Um,
Dude.
yeah, let's start this. Doctor Strange came out in 2016 and it was directed by Scott Derrickson. And he is mostly known for horror films. So, Exorcism of Emily Rose,
Oh, word.
Hellraiser, Sinister. Did you feel that type of vibe from this one?
This movie?
Yeah.
Not really,
Hmm.
but uh, no, not.
Yeah.
I only saw the Exorcism one, and that was kind of scary.
Yeah, I would. Oh, you're like, oh,
Disney's You're Frozen.
ooh,
Bring us back, Jarvis.
sync
You're
mode.
out here.
Is that what it's called?
Nice.
Wait, is it good now? Are we good now?
think so. Here, I'm moving.
Oh, here's
I'm
I'm
good.
looking at the wrong screen, bro. Okay, I'm good.
Oh, you're looking at the recording.
The recording, yeah.
Nice,
Although
nice.
it is fumbling here a little bit. I'm gonna have to close something here.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Um,
Ouch.
but yeah, I didn't really feel like this movie had a lot of horror vibes. Horror, my horror.
Horror.
uh,
You know that reference?
yeah, I think I swallowed my horror.
Horror.
Dude, I love that because he's like, because they always do some X amount of thing, right? They're like 6,000 songs on 5 CDs, all about
Yeah.
horror.
Horror. And then, yo, that's a godlike show. Wow.
Absolutely, guys. If you don't know the reference, educate yourselves and just search that up. Horror, and pretty sure you'll get it
Yeah.
instantly. Yeah, it's a stupid, such a stupid show.
Oh man,
uh,
nice.
hold on, it's like lagging, like super crazy. We'll have
Yeah,
to.
yeah. Hold on, let me see if I can close anything. Nope, house party is the only thing.
Hold on, let me reconnect real quick
All right,
and then
cool.
close.
Maybe we're slow because I'm so high.
Mm. Guys, we're high on the spirit of the Lord, okay?
Yep.
We don't condone any of this devil's lettuce.
No, sir.
I don't want that. The only drug I have is, you know, the burning bush. That's the only drug I want. Roll me some of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Uh,
That fire. The fire. God.
I love how he said yes sir. Your eyes went to the left. You're like yes sir. um, I think we should be okay now.
Yo, can you hear this cat? Like just
I thought that was a
asking.
child.
Yo, it's a cat. It's like, wow.
Oh
Just
fuck.
come and pet me, human. Okay, I'm gonna close my door because it can do a really deep like, "Meow," and I hate that sound.
Wow.
Fucking cat. Yeah,
Ooh.
it's a very crazy cat.
Jersey, right?
Yup.
Damn. Ooh. Maybe it's something stuck. Maybe there's something stuck in his horror. uh,
Oh.
all right, all right. We have to like keep going, or else we're never gonna finish this.
Yeah, it's been an hour.
So the opening scene is the introduction to our antagonist, Caecilius. Do you know
Yo,
what is this?
I'm dying.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm dead. It's because of Colin Mockery, man.
Oh, you guys
Oh
are
my god.
genius. You guys are
Opening
genius.
scene. Okay.
We can't even get through the opening scene. Holy shit. Yeah, so okay, so the, the opening scene is the introduction to our antagonist, Caecilius. I forgot the actor's name, but I know that he's a big actor.
Yeah.
Right. So big ups to Marvel for getting another huge
Yeah.
actor. And another one is the current Sorcerer Supreme, the ancient one. What's her name?
Tilda Swinton.
Yeah. I
Yes.
know her from Constantine. That's it though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She plays those like really like strange characters.
Oh, like obscure.
Yeah.
Because she played like
She got
some
that.
sort of angel, right?
I think she was Angel Gabriel,
Oh wow.
right?
I think so. Yeah, she had like long
Yeah,
hair.
yeah.
Yeah. I guess if that's
Huh.
the type of roles that she usually gets, that's pretty cool. But I know that she's a huge one too, and she's also from England. She's English as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. Oh yeah, she was Angel Gabriel.
yeah.
My God,
And most of
she
these
is
people,
gorgeous.
most of these people are right. Like Cumberbatch is also from the UK, and same thing with Chiwetel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a very English cast actually. Now that I think about it.
Mm-hmm. Because Caecilius, that guy's also
Yeah.
English. Yeah.
Yeah. Is Wong English?
I have no idea. That's that. I don't want to say that accent. It looks sounds pretty real because they're actors. Like some of them are like really good at hiding that stuff. So like
Yeah.
maybe Wong's also from the UK.
Yeah, yeah.
Never know. We don't know
Yeah,
his last name, so
it's Wong. It's his last name is also Wong.
is it Justin?
X.
Let's go, Justin. But yeah,
Wow, he came back from the dead in this movie.
but yeah. The opening scene is Caecilius stealing the book, and later we find out that it's called the Book of Cagliostro,
Yeah.
and it's pretty much a book that teaches you the dark arts, which are forbidden within, I guess, the lower ranks of sorcerers. So I think only like the masters are allowed to like execute it or like learn it or whatever. And so he steals it and he like beheads the fucking librarian, which is
That
like
was crazy.
yeah, that was pretty brutal, right? For like a
It's just
Marvel
dark,
film.
like chill.
Yeah, dude. Like, did you have to do that? And then later on, yeah, he did because he had to sacrifice to like get more powers from Dormammu or whatever. But during the while he's being chased, he looks back at the ancient one. He says, "Hypocrite," and he says
Yeah.
that because she also uses the dark arts for herself, for immortality, and she was wearing a hoodie at that time, so we couldn't see that she actually had the mark on her forehead.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of that and that principle alone pretty much plays a huge part later on like morality and all that stuff, right? Like do the right thing and shit. Pretty crazy. And then we finally get to meet Strange, and the first clip we see of him are his hands, not even his face.
Yeah.
Like no dialogue. It's just him like washing his hands, getting ready for surgery, and it tells you how important his hands are to him, like as a person. To him, it's like I'm nothing without my hands, and he like fully relies not only his career but like his pride as a person, right? Like, yo, I save lives, bro. Like, not like nobody else can do this. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sick. Like he wags every time.
Oh yeah, and he's not afraid to like talk about his accomplishments and what he's able to do. I mean, his first that surgery after that one, and then the guy with a bullet in his head, right? And he's like, nobody can get that bullet or whatever. And he's like doing gang signs. It's like, you mean the car? He's like doing the blood signs or whatever.
Dead.
Um, and there's a lot of arrogance for it.
Yeah.
Like even when he's doing the surgery, he's listening to some music, he's chilling out. You know what I'm saying? He's guessing album titles and names, which is amazing because that song that he guessed by Chuck Mangione um, is one of the songs that my dad used to play a lot when I was a kid,
Nice.
and so that rushed me back with some nostalgia. And if you look at my phone, man, that's there, bro. Children of Sanchez,
Dang.
that's my dude. If you go to the back seat of
Oh,
my car, you'll see a Chuck Mangione CD
I
there.
know. I have in the back of his car it streamed. This is the truth. Every time I go in there, I forget about the CD, and then it's in the thing, like right there. And
Yeah,
you close the door, and you're like, "Oh, Chuck Mangione."
yeah. That's for the ladies, man. You know what I'm
Every
saying?
time.
Yeah,
Every time.
yeah. You try to
Yeah.
woo them. Put on some Cannonball. Not that feel good time. It's always a good time. Chuck is always
You,
there for you.
Yo, in that scene, actually, we had one of those the other night where we're like, dude was like 1967 or something. He was off by the year, and
Right.
Strange was like, no, no, it came out December, uh, but it charted in like the
The
next year.
next year. Yeah.
We had that the other night about the B2K album.
Oh, Pandemonium.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was 2002. No, it was or 2003. No, it was 2002. Came out 2000 or late 2002 or something, December. And I watched the movie and I was like, "Oh, yo, that happened to me like the other day." That's crazy. This
Holy shit.
was spiritual.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is
Crazy.
not just to like Strange, but to like as a whole. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, and it's crazy to see such a guy that is all about science diving into all about the opposite of what you should believe in science, like the unexplainable
yeah.
mysteries. You know, that's like if a microbiologist believed that the Virgin Mary statue is actually crying blood. You know what I'm saying? Like
Oh, yeah,
there's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like wow, really? Like I thought you were better than that.
Didn't that
Um,
happen though?
yeah, I don't know, man. There's a guy there. There's a guy. I'm pretty sure there's a guy at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's fucking putting
Yeah,
blood on there.
yeah,
Although,
yeah. That happens a lot in the Philippines, I think.
yeah, it happens so much that they ignore it. They're like, "Oh, there's that statue again, crying blood. We get it. Your son,
Blood in
yeah,
my dog and I can't see.
with death upon me." Oh damn, that's yo. They should play that
Yo,
song every time Virgin
yeah.
Mary is.
Many men, and then the drums, bam,
Um,
bam,
bam, bam,
bam.
and then many men, ooh,
Oh shit, I
many,
love it.
many men, dun dun
Uh,
dun. Wish the phone me, no, I don't cry
dog, I
no
don't.
more, no more. Those tears don't cry no more. Yeah, that's you. No matter if you're like a grade 7 who has never seen a gun in his life, you will feel gangster as soon as that song
Dude,
hits you. That's it.
I know.
And you always feel like you're paranoid a little bit. You know what I mean? You're like over your shoulder. You're like,
Yeah, always. Just death upon me.
because that's the beginning, right? Bow, 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 bow.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Someone says, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, dude, he like hits the fucking wall. Boom!
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's crazy.
Fucking spray guns. It was
Oh
like the fucking. Oh shit! It's Wayne Brady.
oh, Ashy Larry. Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's the best. That cloud when he like blows into the dice is the best shit ever. Ashy Larry.
What a character.
Anyways, now we're talking about. See what I mean? We just went from like talking about Doctor Strange to fucking Dave Chappelle. Okay, so yeah, he did the surgery, and in that surgery,
Oh yeah,
um, here's what I wrote. He's a doctor not because he wants to save lives, but he wants to win against death. And I think that's where the arrogance comes in.
yeah,
Even he doesn't really treat the patients as like anything significant. He just likes to defy nature, which is
yeah,
like if this guy's meant to die, I can defy that. And I'm better than nature.
yeah.
It's like an ego thing, right? and and in that room, he tells the other dude to cover his watch, um, which is what's keeping him from being able to defy death. And then later on, he uses time to, yeah, like as a weapon
Stop.
to defy death. Right? It's like it kind of like mirrors the final confrontation
Whoa,
of like
that's crazy.
time was against him in this one, but then in the next one he learned how to use time, which is pretty crazy. Shout out to that doctor. I don't know the actor name, but he was pretty
Me too.
funny. Yeah. Um, and then we also get introduced to Rachel McAdams. Almost forgot that she was in this movie.
Yes,
My bad. And
the night nurse.
yes, she does. She plays Night Nurse Palmer, Christine Palmer. and possibly, or they probably had a relationship, sort of, I guess, back then. But she's
Yep.
definitely the love interest for Doctor Strange,
Yep.
right? I mean, didn't really fully explain their history, but we kind of piece it all together, you know. And he's kind of a dick to her, like
Yeah.
in the first half, like first act, like they really showed you how much of an ass he is, and like self-centered, egotistical, Tony
Yeah.
Stark, pretty much.
But
Tony Stark,
that-
but like,
like X, like really, like so much more selfish.
yeah, yeah, like instead of like technology, he's like medical, and it goes into their head of how smart they are, right? Um, which he even invites her to the dinner party, and she's like, the dinner party is like lame as fuck because like you only care about yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then he's like, who else do I care about, baby? You, fuck out of here. He didn't say that, but he had a collection of watches, a lot of things about time here, and
Yeah.
he goes to the dinner party, and he's like speeding on the highway, just like one of those douchebags with a fucking
Yeah.
Lamborghini. He's talking to his boy Billy about some potential patients, and there's been a lot of talk and theories about some of these uh, patients that Billy was, um, I guess, listing down. One, especially, is the Air Force Marshal that has
Yeah.
a broken spine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this might be the guy from Iron Man 2.
Ooh.
Was it from the
Yeah.
Justin Hammer?
Yeah.
Yeah, his body got twisted and stuff, which is pretty gruesome if you think about it. I mean, like, death,
Dude,
right? Well,
yeah.
that's
That's
paralysis forever.
it's over. Like,
Yeah,
you got to be Professor X.
Christopher Reeves, right? Like that's like the Superman guy. Yeah,
Ish.
yeah. And they said that according to the timeline, it does work out, and I think it did get confirmed that yeah, it was the Justin
Yeah.
Hammer guy. Because there's a lot of people that were saying it was Rhodey from Civil
No.
War, but this
Too recent.
happened. Yeah, exactly. Too recent. And then there were some other ones too, like a girl that got hit by lightning, and then the other girl that had some sort of like amnesia, something like that. There's been a lot of
Captain Marvel.
theories. Yeah, that was one of the theories. But then they're like, wasn't that in like 1980s?
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
And some people are crazy. You know what I mean? Maybe these are just thrown in there, maybe not. But knowing the MCU, they're actually pretty detailed when it comes to Easter eggs. So they
Yeah.
could mean something else. I mean, in the future, we could be seeing something from the next saga and be like, this was mentioned in Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah.
Pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and then, dude, he fucking 12 minutes in and it's car crash and his hands are fucked. They pretty much
Crazy.
show you like his hands going in the fucking dash and just
Yeah.
like,
Ouch.
yeah, dude. Like your hands are burnt,
Yeah.
crushed, and everything in between. And like to him that was his worst nightmare, pretty much. Right? Like losing your hands as a surgeon, that's pretty much the end of it all. That's a lot of people saying that about Knuckle Dude. Knuckle Dude said he's out of the game, but
Yeah.
he didn't reveal anything. Maybe he got
Yeah.
super injured and his hands are bad.
Maybe.
Yeah, you can't play Street Fighter like that, man.
No,
You know?
that's not a priority.
Yeah,
It's not like he's going to be like, I'm going on a road to heal my hands or like heal my body so I can play again. It's like, nah, like
no,
it's not
yeah,
that serious,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Um, some people that rely on there's some people that get diseases and they can't play anymore. Chris Bosch had to retire super early because he has a potential blood clots whenever he exerts effort. He could die on the fucking court right then and there. So he had to retire at like what
30.
31? Yeah, something.
Yeah.
That's crazy for a
So
basketball player, you know.
that's awesome. I hope he still has a gig because I like this. You see at this point, it's like, what is an NBA player like? Who's like what a third pick in the
Yeah, he was,
draft
he was
with
pretty big.
Wade
Yeah,
and who
Melo, I believe.
Braun.
Melo was in the same trade.
Oh, word, 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 word.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. Oh, you mean like in that league he was big three with LeBron and
No, I
with
mean
Dwayne
like
Wade.
the that year's picks, like the draft picks.
Oh yeah, he was pretty far up, and Toronto got him.
Bosch was like
And
third, I think.
yeah, he was top
Not
five for sure.
yeah.
Um, I think he's an analyst now. I think
Oh, good for him.
most of these guys just turn into that. You know what I mean? Even if they don't really have anything.
That's
I mean,
true.
I'm not a basketball expert, but like if you watch Shaq and like Charles Barkley, man, sometimes they're just fucking around the
Oh
entire
my god,
episode. Yeah.
that is the best show on television, and it's because they don't talk about basketball.
No,
We talk about like
they
old
trash
movies.
talk each other. Yeah. I think the Bucks are gonna make. What did you know about basketball, Chuck? You don't even know how to lay up. Hey, I know more than you. You stop that. And it's like this is it. This is the whole episode.
Yeah. Okay. Ernie is like the blackest white guy.
Yeah, yeah. You got Kenny Smith, who everyone shits on, even though he's like an OG. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like you're supposed to
he
respect
is.
your elders, but it's just
Yeah, but he's kind of a troll sometimes, you know.
yeah, he is. He's like that um trickster uncle that you have in every fucking barbecue
Yes, sir.
that likes to put hot sauce in your fucking food when you're not looking. You know?
So spiked someone's food with like candy once at some place. Do you remember? We're sitting with someone and then we put candy under their food,
What
and then
kind
they
of
got
candy?
so it was like sour keys and like gummies.
Or was I there?
Yeah, it was me and you that did it, and it was someone from YFC.
Oh no, I don't remember, dude.
That's
That's so
so like
sad.
now that I think about it, oh my god, that was mean. That was food.
Yeah, dude. We were young, right? Like young and stupid. Like
Yeah, I was
now,
like,
yeah. Now it's like you see food and you're like, don't waste that. You better eat that.
yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah. No, to kids, I'm like, what the are you,
yeah, some of these kids they don't finish their food and you're like, go to fucking
dude?
school. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
lumpia, little
who,
bastard.
whoever that was, my bad. Didn't mean to do that.
Same, my bad.
Yeah, but the fact that it happened already, it's probably jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, lighten up. Take us off your kill list, please. You know what I mean? If you're about to go on a
Oh
rampage
shit.
soon, watch he like goes, he kills like people in a convenience store because somebody offered him a sour key and it like triggered him.
Oh.
Fuck sour keys.
Yo,
Gerald
be
Gray.
hilarious. That'd be hilarious.
Jokes. I don't know who
His
that
wedding
be.
day, like, babe, what do you want for dessert? Sour keys?
And then boom,
Yeah.
local wife stabbed 17 times by a newly married husband. That's what it's
Oh
gonna say
my
on the headline.
god.
You don't remember who they was?
I don't remember. It was like someone younger as well. So
Oh, oh no!
it
How
wasn't one of our friends. It was like just another YFC kid.
how pissed off were they?
They weren't pissed. They were just like, man, that was so mean, but like pissed as well.
That's crazy. Oh, you're like
So
you're lagging again,
cringy.
man. Whoever that was, sorry, but it was probably Austin's idea. You know?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it was Austin.
he's a ringleader.
You know what? If you're listening, whoever that guy was that you thought that we spiked your food with, it was Austin. Yeah, it was him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't us.
I told him like, yo, that's not a good idea. That's very mean. He's like, oh, I didn't want to. Like, Gerald, what's wrong? Is your vagina hurting from doing this? And I'm like, wow, uh, that's inappropriate. I told Austin that because
He
he's the
said
one.
that to his face. Oh my god, you're so brave.
I did, yeah. Anyways, let's
Yeah. What were we talking about?
his hands are mushed up.
Oh yeah.
Goes in a car crash, and this is pretty much like um, It's just like snippets of scenes of him waking up in hospital, going into surgery. Of course, Christine, Nurse Bay is there, and then he wakes up and his hands are like, fucking. He looks like a like puppet, like
Yeah.
strings on it and shit. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And even then, he's like criticizing the doctor that stitched him up. Right? He's like, "This guy
What did they do?
sucks." Yeah. It's like, what do they do? Like, this looks like ass. Um,
Yeah. I mean, it
which,
did.
yeah,
Look raw, dude.
yeah, but like, the only person that can really do what Strange would have wanted is him, and that's,
Yeah.
you can't perform surgery on yourself, which is crazy.
Which is ironic.
Uh, yeah, because he does that later on.
Yeah. He's like, got him again.
Got him. um,
He flex. Got a flex cape out of it too. Jeez. Time
yeah.
stone. Let's go.
Jeez, that's the Kush stone, bro. That's green. You already know. This guy's just tripping. Um,
Jeez.
and then he's trying to use modern medicine to pretty much get his hands back into action. But even as the audience, you see the damage being done. You're talking about bones cracking in two pieces, man. Talking about like tissues and nerve endings that are like forever torn. And this is not something that even cell. What is that called again? Like how cells like rebuild
Cell
themselves.
regeneration.
Yeah, cell regen is able to do. Unlike, it's not like you got burnt or anything like that, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like from like I don't know. It's literally trying to turn back time as a cell because you can't as it decomposes or like you know dies off.
Mhm.
You just can't go back. Like,
Right, and that talks a lot about like time here, about how that's what time does. It makes kills you, right? Eventually kills you, and then this results him into fucking selling everything, using up all his money. You see his apartment filled with like so much stuff, and now it's like empty except for some awards here and there. But he sold his piano, which he doesn't need that anymore because he can't play unless he's playing chopsticks.
uh,
Because that's the only song that would,
oh shit!
that
Even
would,
that's probably too hard.
yeah, yeah. Even then, he was struggling to write his own name, right? I mean, this
Yeah.
the caliber of like his ability. Like if he tried to pull a bullet out of the guy's brain, he would pull the brain out and then leave the bullet in there. Like that's how bad. That's how bad his hands are shaking. Like he
Yeah.
fucked things up. And everybody in that board meeting is like, no one has the heart to tell him, like, bro, you need to look for something else. Start streaming. You know what I mean? It's like surgery is not for you anymore.
Yo, that's dope.
And his pride, his ego, is still there. It's still big, and he's like, no, I can still find something to heal them, but he has no more money, so that's what he has to result into. Now he's gonna
Low.
go, yeah, the low voodoo. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing else he can sell, and this also goes into the lesson of letting go of material things. As a
Yeah.
sorcerer supreme, um, there is no need to be worried about the lavish lifestyle of luxurious things. You're literally, there's a fucking wormhole eating alien, and it's like, yeah, but like the Gucci belt is sick. Like, nobody cares, dude. Like you need you
Yeah.
need magical
Like,
items, yeah.
come on, man.
Um, so he goes and he seeks out this one miracle patient that this one guy told him during physical therapy. Um, and it's some dude that's playing basketball, and he's supposed to be like super paralyzed from the waist down. And he's like, "Yo, bro, how'd you do that, bro?" It's like skills, bro. It's like, no, for real, how'd you do that? It's like skills, bro. It's like, yo, I'm not bullshitting. It's like, all right, fine. There's a place. It's like, what? Yeah, yeah. Camertage. It's like sick, sick, sick. And He's like, good looking out. He didn't actually like Doctor Strange because he tried to get an appointment with him a long time ago,
Yeah.
and him being so picky with patients and stuff like that, he told him, "I don't have time for hopeless patients,"
Yeah.
and he rejected him. So here's another thing where like Strange is now kind of seeing a lot of things about himself that was he didn't know that was wrong. You
Yeah.
know, to him, his uh, ideals were justified before for rejecting him, but the fact that he is now a hopeless cause, he can now relate to him and be like, now I'm in that situation where like every person that I ask, because he had a video call with that his friend, right? And his friend's like,
Can do it.
tried everything, bro. Tiger
Yeah.
Bomb, Efficacent OL,
Vix.
Vicks. What else? What do you want?
Shit.
Betadine? And he's like,
Paracetamol. Yeah.
Robitussin.
Yeah. I died when I was in the Philippines and I had a headache, and my tita said, "Oh, pingin ng paracetamol," and I was like, "Yo, I haven't heard that word in years."
Paracetamol. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, it's true.
Paracetamol. The fuck?
Oh, I hope that wasn't your reply to your aunt. It's like
No.
paracetamol. The fuck?
The fuck is that, bitch? Give me
Ah,
an Advil.
anong sabi mo? Are you fucking deaf? You didn't hear what the fuck I said.
Yeah, damn that.
Sometimes, like around my family, because I know that some of them don't speak in English, I like throw swear words in there. In there. My brother be like, "Yo, eat this." What the fuck is that, man? You know what the fuck you're talking about?
You can get away with it. It's too
Yeah.
fast.
And my cousins are always like, "My God." Oh, my bad. Sorry.
No jokes.
What am I supposed to do? Like swear in Tagalog? That's even worse.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Kamartaj, and it's located in the Himalayan mountains. Ooh.
Interesting.
What country is that?
Nepal.
Nepal. Okay.
Nepal.
That's like
Nepal.
uh
Himalaya. Nepal.
what language is
Yep.
that? What language do they speak?
Nepalese.
Wow.
I think. What is it? Yeah, Nepalese.
Nepalese. Have you been there? Because I know you travel, right?
Is that a language? Fuck. Uh, I've never been there. I would like to go there. Actually, it's one of the destinations that I would. It's one of those places where not many people really yearn to go
Mm-hmm.
because it's near Russia, it's near China, and it's always like it's a battleground country. Or yeah,
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 because they still
country.
haven't. Yeah, man. I mean, those countries over there. What region is that called? Like, what do they call that?
In like in South Asia.
Is that where it is? South Asia.
Yeah, South Asia, like Sri Lanka, Tibet,
Hmm.
like Mongolia.
Yeah, those are like, and their culture there is still so traditional.
Yeah,
Because
like
like,
crazy.
yeah. So that's where he goes to find Kamertaj, and he goes on a long journey. He has nothing left. This guy looks like a bum, and he goes through Nepal, and he almost gets mugged. Right, so we get to see a little bit of Baron Mordo, and then some guys came in. He's like, "Give us your watch," and he's like, "Nothing but the watch, please." And you're like, "Man, this guy really loves his watches, and we
Yeah,
think that it's a super expensive watch."
yeah,
Aside from this movie being all about time or whatever, sticking to the theme, and then we find out that that watch is like the broken one that he
yeah.
had when he crashed, and you're like, man,
Word.
yeah. So like that's why he got stuck. That was the day or the night that it crashed. It's kind of like reminded him when his life turned upside down. Like literally, he was upside down in the car, right? Um, yeah, and
Literally.
we also
True.
get we see an inscription at the back, and it's from Night Nurse.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
That's also one thing.
she's like, hey baby, um, I'd like to take a semen sample from you or whatever. No, no, no. It's something about
Yo,
like
nurses don't fucking say that.
I'm putting my own quote in that fucking inscription on the back. I forgot what it said, but it says something about like,
Something about time?
yeah,
Is it?
time is precious or something like that. It's about
Oh,
like
Sean Desmond? No, no, no. Sorry,
no, that's something else. No.
that's actually Ricky Martin and Christina Aguilera.
Shit, my bad. Ricky
Yo,
Martin, Richard Martin, my bad. Um,
Richard Martin.
he's old now,
You're
so
Ricky.
you have to call him that. Like, it's not Harry Potter, bro. It's Harold Potter. Grow up.
Harold.
You gotta grow up someday, right?
I know Harold.
Yeah.
You-
Bobby Hill, Robert Hill, bro. Ain't nobody talking about that no more. Um, but yeah, so we get introduced to Baron Mordo. In the comics, he is a villain, actually one of Doctor Strange recurring nemesis, and he pretty much has the same backstory here as in the comics. He was also a student of the Ancient One and turned his back. So it's kind of like Caecilius. So Caecilius in this movie reflected the way, because Caecilius in the comics was the same way. He was also this guy. Like, Ancient One just keeps fucking training these betrayers, man. These traitors. I don't know why. There's no pattern that
She
you're
can
seeing
see the
this.
future as well, right? So it's crazy that she
Hmm.
just does it.
I guess
Just
like her ratio between traders and non-traders is probably pretty good when it comes to non-traders. So she probably
yes,
thought it wasn't a problem, right?
true, true, true. But I mean, one is a lot if they know the dark arts. So
Yeah, yeah, and they can like train more zealots or whatever.
yeah,
Pretty crazy.
yeah. Or zealots, as I read it.
Oh, is that how it's supposed to be?
No, I think it's zealots, but I've never heard it before coming to Canada. So I was like, zealot.
Yeah, I used to say zealot because
Yeah,
of the fucking the Protoss character in StarCraft. um,
had to be a video game,
yeah,
not literature, not literature.
and they never say the name of the unit there, so I never knew how to say it. I just kind of like, you know,
Yeah. Zealots. Xeno? Zealots.
maybe it's like a like a regional thing.
Yeah.
Like UK say it like garage, and we say garage, right? Maybe. Guys, let
That's
us know. Put in the comments below if we're saying it right. Is it zealot or
garage.
zealots? Is it
Or
tomato?
is it
Tomato.
garage? Or is it garage? Or is it a car hold?
Where the fuck is the last one from?
That's from Mo. It's like I gotta go to the garage. Homer's like I gotta go to the garage, and Mo's like garage, Mr. Frenchie here, garage. What do you call it? A car hold.
Mo. Oh my
And
god.
they end the scene right there.
Shoutouts to Mo's Tavern. Um, and then he goes in. So Baron Mordo tells him, "Yo, reach. I know where Kamertaj is." Um, then he meets with Ancient One. Ancient One's like, "I'm reading you right now. I'm reading you like a book, right?" It's like, "How many surgeries? 7? Soft, right?" And then Doctor Strange's like, "How do how do you know about me?" It's like there's a lot of things that you gotta know, man. So we already saw this from Endgame where she knew exactly when Doctor Strange was gonna come, but it's about also teaching him a lesson, right? He also has to learn the values of the Sorcerer Supreme that he's going to end up being.
Yeah.
But you see a lot of the arrogance here, where he's like, you know, um, he's like, "What kind of medicine do you use? Like, is this trial like still experimental? Like, am I on the list? Can I get on the list?" He still doesn't fully comprehend what kind of
Yeah.
healing factor the Ancient One has to offer, right?
Yeah.
And then, she's like, "Have you read this book? This diagram?" He's like, "Yeah, this is like easy shit, man. This is like fucking grade one." You know what I'm saying? Acupuncture, get out of here.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
Chakra.
yeah. And then he like tries to hold her, and she's like, "Ha!" Like Ip Man to the to the chest. He
Oh my
like
god.
he's like he turned into Casper, right?
That was crazy.
Yeah, that was the first time we get to see his astral form,
Yeah.
um, which is something that Strange uses a lot in the comics, and of course in the video games that he's also featured in, and an essential tool that he can use later on, not just like in combat, but like in training as well. Then he's like, "Yo, what you put in my tea?" And then she's like, "No, that's just Rockstar Kush. Like I don't know, like I don't know if there's anything else
They
in
made
that
it to a
one."
drink.
Yeah,
Yo,
fun. Yeah.
the weed at this region of Nepal is actually like that's where Kush was.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's
Oh,
this is where this is there's a pilgrimage and it passes through Afghanistan, Nepal, and like all these places, all the way to like Amsterdam. It's crazy.
that's crazy. What?
Yeah.
Wow. That's something I'm very interested in right there. I want to be on that pilgrimage right there.
Yes. Oh yeah, me too.
Um, Fun fact: Sean Paul, Somi Solan, cannot smoke weed, so he has to drink it in tea form.
So is that Rockstar Kush?
Uh, what do you mean? No, Rockstar Kush is just my favorite strain. I just said
Oh,
it.
right.
Yeah, but he has to. Yeah, he like steeps it and then like drinks it.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, he's like an old man now, right?
I
He can't.
know. I saw like this latest like ugh
Yeah,
dad bod.
yeah. He's the one yelling them to stop banging on the damn furnace. He's the roles have been switched. He's like, oh, I feel like I'm the guy now.
Oh my god.
For real,
What you gave us, Sean?
wait, what?
This is what you gave us, Sean.
Yeah, we be burning, not
Yeah.
concerning.
Do, do, ah. The elbow.
Oh man, Shonda Paul, dude. Dirty, eh? Anyways, we keep like getting off track. Fucking at
Dati
Sean
love.
Paul right now. Oh, that's such a fire song.
Yeah.
Anyways, he meets with the ancient one. Um, he also mainly uses the astral form to contact the ancient one in the comics. So when he goes on like missions and shit, he's like, "Yo, I gotta call the ancient one about some." Instead of using a cell phone, he just like, "Yo, astral form." So it's like a really useful tool. And then when he's still questioning the T, fucking ancient one is like, "Open your eye." And he like pushes her thumb, his or her thumb. I don't even know if she's a guy or girl here. On his third eye, and he like
Yeah.
fucking LSD.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I wasn't ready for this.
Yeah, dude. Were you under the influence when you watched this in the
Yes.
theater?
Actually, not the first time.
Oof. But
That's
you felt like you were during this
wait, you
scene.
said 2016, right? Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
those were the 2016. There was a blackout in my area for like how many days? Like 6 days,
Oh shit.
and they were like blunt smoking. So yeah,
For sure. Yeah. That was like a trip and a half. That was like, I didn't know you like to get wet, Dave. It's like, what?
PCP.
Angel dust. What the fuck? Yeah, so he goes on a crazy trip.
Yeah.
The graphics in this sequence is like something you'd see out of like a fucking I don't
Oh
even
yeah.
it's like one of those books, where you gotta cross your eyes to see an image, and then on top of like the craziest coloring book you could ever find, and like a kaleidoscope, pretty much trippy, unreal, pretty much almost illusion like, and he goes through like different dimensions, which
Yeah. That was
confirm a lot of things for comic fans
yeah.
and in the MCU. Um, What did you think about that sequence? I thought it was like,
It was a lot because it showed the quantum realm,
mhm.
um,
Yeah, it did.
and it showed like the same kind of teleporting in Guard. Was it Guardians 2?
Yeah, because his face was like morphing and shit. Yep. I
Yeah, and
think
then it
the.
happens in Thor,
Hmm.
Ragnarok.
Yep.
Like that kind of like interdimensional like montage thing.
Hmm.
So
He goes to space.
yeah,
Um, and then we get to see a little bit of the dark dimension where he goes later on to see Dormammu. Um,
yeah.
it's pretty crazy.
Wow, that scene alone is like I watched this over and over just for that.
Yeah,
It's a lot. Just that scene on YouTube.
yeah. And I felt like he was probably on like some sort of like hanging thing, right? And they just kind of CGI'd everything around it, but he was just like
Yeah,
floating everywhere because he looked like he was just being fucking pushed, pulled in
yeah,
every single direction. He was like turning into dust and turning back, you know.
yeah.
Um, yeah, crazy scene. And he comes back, the chair's broken. He's like, it's like, it's like we finally get down from like a crazy trip, right? And you're like, your eyes aren't fucking thing anymore, dilated anymore, and you're like, oh, I need one more hit. That's what he said. He's like, he's
Yeah,
like, pack a bowl. That's what he said. No,
yeah.
he's like, teach me. And she says,
Mm-mm.
no. This is one of
Yeah,
the lessons right here. You know, the willingness and like the commitment to keep going forward with this. And I'm pretty sure she got his interest already in terms of the mystical arts and stuff like that.
yeah.
But she needed to teach him a lesson. So I said, "You're sleeping on the stoop. You're stoop kid." That's what he
Nice.
did. Stoop kid can't leave the stoop. You know
Is that Hey Arnold
what? Hey Arnold. Yeah,
jokes?
yeah,
Those Stoop Kid. I know that one episode.
yeah. Stoop kid, man, and he got off that stoop. So I'm like, man, this weird ass episode as a kid. Because in Philippines we didn't have stoops, bro. I don't know what the fuck a stoop was.
Uh,
Like
like where?
we
Is
had
it
hut, yeah,
Bangin?
we had huts, you
Yeah.
know. We had,
There's no space for anything. There's no space for a sidewalk.
yeah, it
So I
was
don't know about you guys.
stray dogs and grass. We didn't have cement, you know. This was our life back then. But yeah, so this includes humility, and this is where old Strange before wouldn't settle for this, right? He wouldn't settle for like a no, and he'd like step away. I'm better than this, take his pride home. But there he was like sitting, he was sleeping by the door, and he was begging, like on his knees. This is not something that you see Doctor Strange ever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If Christine saw this, she'd be like, "This guy's crazy,"
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, that was good stuff that you saw though. So it like
Yeah, you
it's
should
not
have.
like you're gonna give up after 6 hours. It's like, oh yeah, I
Yeah,
don't want it anyway.
there was actually a deleted scene where Strange looks up and he said, "The spirits have got me. The spirits have got me." The ancient one splash water on my face. Splash. All right, that's enough. That's enough references. It's gonna go on forever if we keep doing this.
Oh shit, he hasn't even got the powers yet, and we're like an hour and a half into it.
No, we're not. I'm not checking the time because I'm trying to make sure that we're like good. Anyways, but yeah, he finally lets him in. He says thank you, and uh, what does he get? Then Mordo talks about killing his demons, right?
Yeah,
The ancient,
foreshadowing.
foreshadowing. The ancient one says, "We never truly lose our demons. We only learn to live above them."
Yep.
This foreshadows Mordo's turning into a bad guy later on, and of course, you know, Strange never really fully defeating Dormammu, right? It was like it's not like
Still
Dormammu's
warding
dead,
off.
right? But he's just there, like holding it above them, like um, have the upper advantage over them and making sure that
Yeah.
they're like tamed, they're like not on the loose and shit. And which is, I guess, her um her logic or her justifying reason for using the dark arts as well. Where it's like I'm not letting it consume me. You know what I mean? Like it's like that dude that like does heroin, but he's like, dude, I don't do it every day. You're like, oh, sure. Mordo's like, yeah, okay there, buddy. Right?
Because he like, you said that 3 times today.
Yeah, because you can see if you use dark arts all the time, you look like Asilius, right? Like, your eyes
Yeah.
get all fucked up and shit like that.
Oh,
So different
yeah.
stages of
Crusty.
like, yeah, the
So
man,
crusty.
man's Sly Cooper. That's what he
Yeah.
was.
Jeez.
Um, then the Ancient One gives lessons on spells and how they conjure energy from different multiverses in order to create weapons, shields, and reality manipulations. Just crazy,
You
by the
said
way.
multiverse.
Multiverse, yeah. So this is now another hint that they themselves are. That's one thing they're guarding is your
Yeah.
universe from the rest of the multiverse,
Yeah.
right? Oh man, this
That's
is
crazy.
where fans were like, "Oh shit, this is now the possibilities are opening up left and right."
Uh
This
huh.
further opens the MCU to like alternate universes,
Yeah.
right? And even though this never really explained it much here, they did explain it in the Spider-Man movie quite well, and I love how people now understand how alternate universes work,
Yeah.
right? It's like
Yeah.
if it wasn't for that movie, I think you know multiverse explanation is kind of hard to do for the mainstream. You really got to give them something like super basic, like Spider-Man, and you're like,
Yeah. I'm not from your universe. Oh, so there are you. Ah, cool. That's
right,
it.
yeah, that's it. That's it. There's no more like, okay, so like this guy right here, this is like
Yeah.
this Peter Parker or whatever. Nah, bro, they just explained it really well. I love that movie, by the way. That was a really good movie. Um, so yeah, this universe is called the mystical arts when it comes to opening up horizons for MCU. We got crazy tech, we got cosmic shit, we got fantasy shit, we got quantum shit. Now we got mystical arts. It's pretty much like mystical kung fu, right? Shang Chi is gonna play a big part in this universe
See.
as well, and multiverse of madness, obviously later on.
Nice.
Um, we get introduced to the new librarian since the old librarian got his head popped off, and his name is Wong. A who is one of the guardians and oversees the library. He's the sidekick of Doctor Strange from the comics. In the comics, he has like super chinky eyes. He has like a goatee. Yeah, he has like a long
Oh,
braided hair. Really stereotypical. Which I'm glad that they step away from that because even the ancient one in the comics is like an old guy. He looked like Gandhi. You know what I mean? So I love how this one she's able to, or he's able to actually move. This is the old one. He can't really fight anymore, right? Pretty cool to see. Um,
oh, but I think we already talked about this at one point.
which
But
one?
the ancient one was supposed to be like a Tibetan monk,
Mm,
and because Disney has a huge stake in China, China doesn't want to acknowledge Tibet,
yeah, they don't.
so they were like, "Don't do it." So they had to change it to what's her a Celtic like she's Celtic.
It's white, yeah.
Yeah.
They even mention it. I think Mordo says that. Right? It's like, what do you know about her? She's Celtic.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
people are like, that's
that's,
weird.
I guess. Yeah,
Exposition
that's
9.
that's pretty crazy how they still won't acknowledge Tibet. That shit's been protested since 2002. 2003,
Yeah.
like a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Oh, free
Yeah,
Tibet. I was like a teenager. I was
yeah,
12.
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's
it's crazy.
crazy. Yeah,
Well, they do it with Taiwan and Hong Kong.
Hong Kong as well.
Well, not Hong Kong. They're trying to amalgamate Hong Kong. But you already know, China. We love you anyway.
I don't know, man. Hong Kong, the whole Hong Kong situation is like China. Just leave them alone, man.
Yeah,
Like, who
yeah, yeah.
cares about what some old colonial people told you? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like the UK is not even helping either,
Yeah.
right?
They're like, no, we left. We washed our hands off in
Yeah,
rush hour. They're like, you
yeah,
remember rush hour? We made the deal.
yeah. That's yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, yeah, actually, kind of makes sense in that way because
Yes.
it's like the UK were like the club promoters, and these guys, have a bill to settle, and these guys are like, "Oh, we closed the club a long time ago. You guys fight amongst yourselves." You know what I mean? Like, it's fucked
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
bro.
True.
But China, I love Hargo, spicy Hargo.
uh, I love
Uh,
Gai Dansai.
dim sum. Ooh,
Oh
crazy.
my god, stop. I don't have
Okay,
money.
yeah, yeah, I know. I shouldn't talk about food because now I want to get Uber Eats.
Me
Anyways,
too. Not until Thursday, baby.
this guy's counting the days down.
Yep.
Thursday is when the new Gundam game drops, so that's what I'm waiting for. Anyways,
Oh, and there's our Raptors. I think there's a game at NBA. Like, it's not
official
a
now?
scrim. Yeah, it's like not a
Ooh.
scrimmage. It's just a real thing.
When Thursday?
I think it start like the first one is Thursday.
That's the perfect time to eat some takeout.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my payday is also that day, but I don't think I can.
It's blessed.
Anyways, so yeah, we meet Wong. He's not as stereotypical in this one as he is in the comics. Then he cuts into Caecilius doing a ritual for the dark arts with his homeboys, his zealots, um, and you find out um, that the dark powers are from Dormammu. So this is where he says the name for the first time, and he's reshaping reality just like the ancient one did now, and that's how we know that he's using the dark arts.
Yeah,
Um, it looked
but
pretty
we didn't
trippy.
know that that was the dark arts, right?
Yeah,
In the beginning, yeah,
yeah. We didn't know, like, we thought it was just like, oh, this is how normal sorcerers are.
yeah,
But they're not supposed to meddle with nature, which is why if they do fight, they have to go into the mirror dimension so that nothing outside can get affected. But the dark arts can go through that, right? Which is why it's forbidden. Shit like
yeah,
that. Really crazy stuff. Like, there's a lot of like rules here that, like, unwritten rules that you kind of have to figure out on your own in terms of like what works, what's real or what's not real, plays into like man's reality and shit. But yeah, pretty
gee,
crazy scene of him doing the incantations and shit. And then the handless master Hamir. Oh yeah, so this is the part where Doctor Strange was like, he was he had like low self confidence in terms of like being able to conjure spells, and he's blaming it all on his shaky ass hands, right? And then the fucking handless master Hamir had to come through and show him what's up, and the man had no hands,
yeah.
or he had one hand. I can't even.
The one hand, yeah,
Yeah, he had one hand.
but there was a lot of no hand on the other hand.
Yeah, he looked like the dude from Third Strike.
Which
Yeah, the
one?
one armed dude. Forgot his name. Org or something. Whatever. Um,
Yeah, that was really armless.
yeah, armless. And then the Strange is like, no, you don't understand. I can still do this. I can't do this or whatever. And then fucking Ancient One leaves him in the fucking Mount Everest.
Himalayas.
Yeah, which is like negative how many degrees up there. He's cold as fuck. He gets
Yeah,
hypothermia in like 2 minutes. Um, Baron Mordo's like, this again, like not again, which means like
she did it before.
probably some skeletons in that mountain from
Yeah,
past apprentices and stuff like that. But
which is fine. I mean, if they couldn't cut it in a life or death situation, like
like
they were meant to be,
they're
baby.
not meant to be. And plus, the Ancient One knows that this guy's eventually become Sorcerer Supreme. His method or his way of learning, because he has photographic memory, And when it comes to spells, it's like that, right?
Yeah.
And like nobody really tells you how long Strange was in that Camertage for in terms of like time. There's no calendar flipping through. There's no indication of Christine saying, "Where is Strange? He hasn't been here for months, years, weeks." We don't know. All we know is
True.
that he's training, and the concept of time is not to be worried about. You know.
Actually,
Mm,
I would disagree because the trees change a lot in the
yeah. Well, that was
right.
that was the only thing that was telling you,
Yeah,
right?
it was at least from maybe summer,
Yep.
or maybe it was all of fall or summer to fall. So maybe it was like what 2, 3, 4 months.
Yeah. It seems like a whole cycle of seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we see the trees fall, bloom, and I think near the end they're gone, right? There's no more leaves or something like
So it was like 2 semesters.
that. This guy said semester. Well, yeah, he's going to school, right?
Yeah, he went in fall. Actually,
God,
stream. He went in fall,
oh yeah,
and
he
then there was
did.
a winter, and then there was
Mm.
the spring bloom, and then he had the year end show where they made like fireworks and
Fireworks. Holy
like
shit.
Gandalf.
Yeah. I mean, that was the only indication of time. There's no clocks anywhere near there. There's no
Yeah,
sundials to tell you.
yeah.
Um,
Oh gosh, what if it's like the hyperbolic time chamber, but the entire place, the whole training facility, is like it. The time is stopped.
maybe, maybe. Because I feel like the door outside into the market doesn't really reflect a lot of what the actual facility or what the actual
Yeah,
place looks like. So it could just be a portal. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
It's like one of those portal doors, right?
Yeah,
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 shit, that's crazy.
yeah,
Wow, so complex. What a camartage, what a crazy
yeah.
place.
So guys, imagine if you're in school in PE and this guy with one arm is like bodying you in dodgeball. Like he's catching it and throwing it in the same hand. Like
Oops.
that's handless master Hamir.
Oh man, and he doesn't hit the floor. He catches it midair, turns his body, whips it,
Yeah,
lands like a superhero.
yeah, dude. If we see him, I hope I if we watch the end game again, I see him in the back with
I
Captain
think so.
America.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
you?
he's in there with
Okay,
Wong.
guys. Hamir, man, this guy. Waiting for your own movie, Hamir. Shout outs to
He's
you.
he's Shang Chi.
It's just Shank. It's just half. You can't have the other one. Um, so yeah, he uses. We learned that he uses a object to make portals. It's called a sling ring.
yeah,
Right? It's like a little two knuckle ring, and he like. And then we learn later on that's how you make portals, and it's like a pretty basic spell
yeah.
for sorcerers. Like, what's a level one spell in RuneScape? Fireball or whatever.
Fire strike.
Whatever, fire strike. It's like that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, you
Yeah,
kill 5 boars. That's your first quest, and that's the equivalent to sling
yeah,
ring, right?
yeah,
But once he learned that, everything else just pretty much started rolling through because he used whatever skill that he learned into gaining more skills and more knowledge. So he learned sling ring, teleporting, and then he's like, oh, I can use it to like sneak books in and
yeah.
out of the library to gain more knowledge, and then I can use astral projection to learn while I'm sleeping. So
Yeah.
I'm never gonna stop learning. Like,
That's cheap.
yeah, dude, yeah, this guy is
That's OP.
he's labbing while he's sleeping. You know how
That's
crazy that is in the
crazy.
future. Oh my
That's
god,
crazy,
guys, that's it. Training room while you're sleeping. Somebody
dude.
invent that, because
You know, they're gonna invent that. In Paprika, where you can dream like, and then you're hooked up to a computer and you can dream and shit.
no, I didn't know. I haven't watched that movie. Oh, shit.
Oh, ever?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that's a good one. Put on the list stream.
Hold on, let me put it on the list right
But
now.
yeah, so like
Ghibli,
if
right?
they can, no, it's an independent
Oh,
animation studio. That's why it's pretty unique.
Oh
But
wow. It's like
yeah, so they have this like machine that monitors your dreams, um, and yeah, it's just like showing your dream on a monitor while you're dreaming. So if you could just hook that marble up right there,
oh yeah,
like I'm
definitely.
doing the buttons IRL, like L,
While you're sleeping,
like M,
oh, this guy's pulling off supers while he's asleep.
H.
They're like sleeping. You just hear hyper. You're like, who the fuck is that on the? What is Raymond doing? Oh,
Yeah.
he's sleep labbing. Don't worry about
Yep.
him. He'll wake up godlike. Don't worry.
That would be just
Paprika. Okay, I don't have that one. I have like Porco Rosso and shit.
oh nice.
Here. Kiki's. Are you the one who told me to watch Ocean Waves?
Oh yeah, that's a
Yeah,
good one.
it's in here too. Uh, Paprika. Oh, okay. I see the poster. Yes, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. You know who loves this?
Don't tell me.
Because you
I don't.
already know. I don't have to
You
tell you because you
know.
already know. What is that? You hate this? You hate this movie now?
Now, come to think of it, it's not that bad. No, I'm joking. It's God, but that's like common knowledge, right?
It's not because I didn't know about it, right? I mean, this is why I need to like, somebody needs to show me some of these things because only you, like your, I don't know what to call it. Your scene knows a lot of hidden gems.
Uh,
Yeah. And so, it's important for me to find those hidden gems.
that's true. I'm not part of the scene,
Oh,
whatever
here we
that
go.
is.
Classic, dude. That's classic.
I am an I'm an independent.
Yeah, yeah. Chance the Rapper.
I'm indie.
Yeah. Um, what's his name? You're
Like,
Macklemore. Um,
yep.
yeah, I'm
That candy
gonna.
shop, I take it to the can. Yeah,
That's 50
that's the one,
Cent.
right? uh,
uh,
oh, that.
but yeah, so he pretty much does like a jump start to his training and learning, and now he's like getting on this knowledge, which is why probably only took him a year to like really learn a lot of crazy shit. Brown outs.
You can't say that.
Uh, all right, guys, we're back. Sorry about the
Hey,
technical difficulties there. There's some businessmen that is conducting business around my neighborhood, probably. That uh,
oh, oh,
messed us
hilarious.
up. So hopefully, there's no more disturbances from here on out.
Yep.
We could pump out this analysis uh, as efficiently and detailed as we can, and intellectually as well. Even though it might not. This guy keeps grinding like the entire episode is always you just grinding and packing. It's like, this is gradually the whole night. As I say intellectually, this guy's like nodding his head as he's grinding. Those aren't coffee beans, folks.
No, I forgot.
uh, anyways, no, you can
I only
grind.
got
I don't
D
care.
up.
They don't know what that is. He's
Yep.
you know,
Grinding.
yeah, he's grinding clips,
Yep.
grinding and grinding. Um,
And then in lining.
but yeah, so we last left off with Strange being able to now efficiently learn spells since he was able to use the sling ring to its full potential and kind of like snowballed his strength or his abilities to learn more mystical shit. And if you really
Yeah.
think about it, for a guy with photographic memory, learning spells and shit, this is like, clockwork for him. You know what I mean? This is
Yeah.
fucking Doom Virgil Strider for him. Like this is
Yep.
easy, right?
Easy stuff. Yeah.
Um, and then we get a little bit more in depth when it comes to spells. So the ancient one shows him the mirror dimension, right? Where the real world isn't affected. It is much like a training room or battleground for fighting other sorcerers. And this is where some of the battles that these guys might have to do are unseen by the people. So they're not superheroes like the Avengers. They're the ones fighting the reality from the background. You know what I mean? Their purpose is not to gain fame. Their purpose is not to like, it's not like Avengers that was the purpose, but it came with that. In this one, it doesn't really come with it. They're trying to be as secretive, as inclusive as possible, and at the same time protect Earth or reality from the dark forces. And the mirror, what is that called? The
The mirror dimension.
mirror dimension really helps in training and keeping away people from dying. But then we learn later on that the dark arts goes through that. Um, and then we learn of Caecilius a little bit more from Baron Mordo. And he says that he lost everyone he loved and he searched for answers from the mystic arts, but he questioned the Ancient One a lot and rejected her teachings. This is where Strange was like, wow, this is kind of like, he's kind of like me. I lost everything. It wasn't as much as he was in terms of family or people, but I lost my hands, which was everything to me, and I he was starting to question the Ancient One's teachings, right? Which is probably
Yeah.
why he thought to himself, I should probably stop doing that, or else I'll end up like Caecilius. You know, it's a bit crazy, which is nuts because Mordo's the one that ends up doing that later on, right? Then we get introduced to relics, which is a pretty cool thing for the mystic arts to have. These are pretty much their weapons. You think of them as, like Hawkeye's bow and arrow or Iron Man's suit. These are the things that help them fight, and they're imbued with power from other beings or other dimensions that normal human beings cannot hold. Right, so it's like the Power Stone, right? The Infinity Stone, where you can't hold it in your hand, but you can imbue it on a glove or a hammer, uh, and transfer the power into it, and you still be able to wield it that way, which is pretty cool. And we've seen a whole bunch of them in this movie.
Yeah.
Um, and then the ones that Strange uses, obviously the cloak, and the ones that Baron Mordo uses, the staff of the living tribunal,
Yeah.
which is
That's
pretty
cool.
cool. Yeah, it's like a staff that like turned into a whip or something, right?
Yeah.
It's like the weapon that Ivy uses from Soul Calibur. Um,
Word.
and this opens up like an arsenal for Strange. And a lot of people think that Strange has like superpowers, but in reality, a lot of the things that he uses in combat are actually ancient relics, that sort of imbue power or create power,
Yeah.
right? Like he can't fly, but with a cloak he can, and all that shit. Like it's not from him. Like he's not superhuman. He
Yeah.
just he just knows how to do spells and shit. Um, so yeah, so Strange knows about these knowledges now, and now he's like thirsting for more knowledge. So he goes around and he sneaks into the library, and this is where he finds the Yamamoto,
Oh shit.
right? Which
It was out in the open though. Like.
right. So this is like from what the ancient one said, where like no knowledge is forbidden or something like that, right? Where it's like everybody can and is able to read all the materials, and it's about practicing it, it's about executing it. That's the forbidden part, right? Which is why the eye is out in the open, because if you really think about it, it's not like they have tourists coming in or like some random people coming in, right? You have to be part of, everybody has to go through fucking the ancient one. It's like
Yeah.
enrollment, right?
Yeah. You're vouched by the ancient one. Everyone there is like vouched by the ancient one. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she knows everybody there. It's not like a big ass college where you're just a number, right?
Yeah.
Which is why there's not really much security in terms of putting the eye somewhere. It's not like fucking Odin's
True.
vault.
Even the books are just like, you know, they're just out there.
Yeah, and then like you could check them out if you want, right? And
Yeah,
it's like it's not like you're not allowed to ever read them. Like if once you reach a certain mastery, you're allowed to read them. As just as Wong
yeah,
said, hey, you're not advanced. That's too advanced for you or whatever, right?
yeah. True.
Um, yeah, pretty crazy. Um, and then he takes one of the books. I think the book that the stolen page was from, right? The book of Cagliostro. And then he plays around with Time Stone and uses it to like restore the missing page, which is like
So smart.
pretty crazy. Yeah, super smart, right? You're like, why didn't you just, you know?
Why didn't they just do that? Well, probably knew, and it's illegal to do that, right?
Yeah, like you're reverting nature. Like even with the apple, right? Like he kind of found out that oh, you could reverse time or forward time, and then
Yeah,
that's what he did to retrieve the pages, which was like crucial because that's the page that pretty much tell you where the dark dimension is, who's the dude to call. It's like
contact page.
yeah, that was like ad. That was like the
Yeah.
wanted ads on the newspaper, and it's Dormammu, call if you want eternal life, right?
Yo,
And that's what Caecilius did.
shoot, just call them up.
And
What?
this is the first time we ever get to see the time stone, right?
Uh, yeah, yeah. As soon as it opened up, like that's the first time because nobody knew. Uh, but people knew that it was gonna show up, right?
Yeah, it had to, right? It had to
But
eventually had to show up. Yeah.
we didn't know it was gonna be the Eye of Agamotto.
hmm Um,
Yeah,
no, I'm not entirely sure. I know that the Eye of Agamotto in the comics looks the same. It's a pendant on his neck, but I'm not sure if it's also the time stone in the comics. I don't
no,
think so. Yeah,
it's an actual relic, like
yeah,
a real. Uh, yeah,
yeah, yeah. It's like it's an offensive spell, or like it's used to like
oh, you
fight.
Agamotto.
Yeah, it's really like stable as fuck, dude.
Holy
Think it
shit!
like
It was like 8 hits.
10 actually.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's
What the
yeah,
fuck?
that's crazy, right?
You could throw out two of them in a row if they're standing.
I don't think can you stack both too? I don't
Yeah,
think
you can
so.
go Tiger Knee, Eye of Agamotto, and then they're going up like a ball,
Yeah, you gotta impact palm it. Yeah.
and then you're gonna go again.
Damn.
Uh,
Impact. Crazy stuff. But yeah, and then he gets found out. They're like, yo, what are you doing here, man? It's like, oh shit. Like Mordo's like he's like berating him. Do you see him? It's like you could be
this
stuck in time loops. You cease to exist. You could die. You could do this. You really want that?
guy's
Huh?
so not chill.
Yeah. And this is where we pretty much find out the rules of sorcery, and you're not supposed to meddle with nature. You're not supposed to change things that is naturally supposed to do, right? Which is why
Yeah,
he doesn't like the fact that a dude is playing basketball when he's not supposed to. Um, Doctor Strange is, fixing old pages and like um, pretty much fucking around with time, even though that's what saved them, right? It's kind of like a morality
yeah,
issue here, where it's like there's no more black and white; it's turning gray, and Mordo doesn't like that. You know, to him, he has one type of idealism, which is like good magic, bad magic. But for Strange, it's like for the good, man. It's like save people, or
yeah,
whatever, right? Um, and then Mordo talks about the history. Right, we learn about the All Father of sorcerers, which is Agamotto himself. So I guess he's like the main dude. And the three sanctums that protect the world: New York, London, and Hong Kong. And Doctor Strange resides in the New York sanctum. Pretty cool stuff. Casillas attacks London, and pretty much this is where the pace of the movie goes into pure action from here on out. All the training is done because as soon as Caecilius attacks London, right, that's when he gets pushed into fucking New
New York.
York and
Yeah,
all that shit, and he never goes back to the normal ways of fucking doing training anymore. All shit
yeah,
just goes on loose. Yeah,
yeah. No more camouflage. Like it's over.
yeah. Camertage
Boot
is
camp is done. We're like they're like
yeah,
you should settle up with our accountant because it's over.
yeah. No more.
Just real.
Let's get down to business. You know.
Hope he doesn't see right through me.
Yeah, they sent him daughters when I asked for sons. Anyways,
I like that. That's the best song in that movie.
really?
Bun a reflection.
Well, reflection. All the Filipinos love it because obviously,
Yeah.
Leia, had a part in that one. But yes, I do admit that. What's that song called?
Uh, Dark, Dark Side of the Moon? No.
No, that's like the fucking lyric.
Dark
Uh,
Side of
something
the
like a man, right?
yeah, man. Yeah. I think it's Be a Man.
I don't even know. I like the one where you gotta make your ancestors proud or something like that. I forgot what that one
Which
song
part?
is. When they're like
Oh.
getting Mulan ready or something like
Oh, that's X.
that. At the beginning. Sorry guys.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Alright.
We're talking about Doctor
But yes, let us know if you want us to analyze old Disney movies. We're more than happy to do that as well.
Easy.
Anyways, Strange gets pushed into the New York Sanctum. It is the first time we ever get to see this place. It had that weird window shaped of Agamotto. It's on Bleecker Street. Hmm. This is the address that we see on Thor Ragnarok later on.
Yeah.
And then he goes and fights Caecilius. And mind you, this is sort of Doctor Strange's first time fighting anybody.
Take real. Yeah.
Yeah, anybody really. And even for him, he doesn't really have a reason to fight because all this time his goal was to get his hands back to normal. It wasn't about throwing hands, it's about healing
Yeah.
his hands. You know what I mean? Casillas doesn't give a fuck. He has like fucking ice daggers. I don't know what the fuck they were, see through
Dude,
swords or whatever.
he uses the mirror dimension shards
Yeah.
and X.
I didn't even know if that was
And
possible.
it's invisible. It's plus.
Yeah. And then we get to see the cloak of levitation. This is one of like strangest like iconic and staple
Yep.
tools slash weapon slash partner in the
Yeah.
comics as well as in the MCU later on. It just saves you a lot of things. And it reminds me a lot of Carpet, Magic Carpet from
Yeah.
Aladdin. And I feel like that was probably one of the, I guess, inspirations for its movement because it kind of has a mind on its own. You know what I mean? It's like pulling strange this way and that way, and you know what I mean. They say that the relic chooses you, right? So pretty cool to see. There was no explanation needed as to why it went to him. We just know that he's Sorcerer Supreme in the future, and the cloak's like, I'm gonna help this guy
A
out.
cushy position right there. You get a nice cloak. You get a time stone. My God.
Yeah, you get, yeah, dude, you got a
You
nice
get the
like Ferragamo. You get the Ferragamo fucking,
what?
and you get the jewels, the chain.
My
Oh,
my God. Stop.
yeah. Apparently there's a Rockefeller one with the eye of Agamotto on
Hey,
the record. That was the one that originally was supposed to get, but
rock.
yeah, a Terror Squad one as well. But this
Hey,
guy, this guy's gangster, man. Doctor Strange is
God.
gangster. Strange and
Ah,
Caecilius talk, right? And we get a clearer picture of what Caecilius his main goal was, which is kind of like convoluted a little bit and kind of confusing for a man who has lost everything. But really, what Caecilius wants is like immortality, and he said time is an insult, and in that sense, since time creates death, death is also an insult, right? And then Doctor Strange is like, but what about the people that you're gonna kill? I know that you're zealots and the people you're trying to recruit will live forever in the dark dimension. But what about the people that you're sacrificing just to please Dormammu? And then he says the same thing about what Strange said to the Ancient One. He said they're insignificant speck. Um, they're just data. They're just numbers, right? They don't matter. And this is where
Jeez.
Strange realizes, she's like, holy shit, that's how I sound like.
Oh man, I didn't
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah, he literally says it word for word. And Strange is like, now he sees himself as like, this is more than just a mirror dimension. This man is me. This is a reflection.
Oh my
Who
god. Ooh.
is that sorcerer I see staring
Are you
back?
fucking kidding me? Yo, that setup was gas. That's ridiculous stream. You see
Yeah,
that shit.
that's what he's had, man.
Oh my god. I'm
So
shook.
in this way, Strange is slowly being convinced to help, to actually be a sorcerer for good. Instead of like focusing on his self healing hands and stuff, he's like seeing the bigger picture. Like these guys are serious,
Yeah.
right? Because even back then, when the ancient was trying to explain to him, like we have to fight forces, like who we fighting, bro? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
And he's like Dormammu. You're like, uh,
yeah, he's like, damn, like I don't even have
oh,
the loops unlocked yet. I can't fight him. You know what I'm saying?
the loops yet.
Yeah.
Gotta go to lab.
And then he gets stabbed, right? One of the
Yeah.
goons comes from behind, like fucking stabs him in the fucking chest right here, and he creates a portal, and he goes back, first time back after his long strenuous training, um, and learning, and he's like a new person now. He's not the pompous, egotistical Doctor Strange anymore. This is where he's like, he's not afraid to ask for help now. That's why he's like, Christine, fuck are you, man? Shit in my heart. There's a mirror dimension shard. I didn't explain that. I got stabbed with a mirror dimension shard.
You
and she,
can't see it, but it's really sharp.
yeah, and she doesn't care. She's like, "Oh my god, where have you been, Pappy?
Yeah.
You know, lie down. I'll take care of you." And then he goes into astral form and he watches over her. It's pretty crazy. um, and this is a scene is actually taken from the comics. It's actually happened. Night Nurse operating on him while he's trying to give her tips on how to do it properly and stuff like that, which is really cool. Nod. A lot of comic readers were really stoked for that part, um, because him fighting the other astral guys also in the comics while he's being operated on, he fights like some other dude in an astral plane. That was a pretty crazy scene, right?
It's pretty intense.
Yeah, he's like
Explosion.
levitating and shit. Yeah. um
That's. I didn't know how they were gonna like uh, execute this
mhm.
because when I first saw him, like, oh no, they're gonna fight as astral form. That's gonna look bad.
Yeah, a little bit.
Kind of did a little bit because they look like, man, they actually look like ghosts.
Yeah, I mean, even their actions, like they're using the objects of the real world, but it only slightly affects them a little bit. And it
Yeah,
also shows you that the mind is also part of the body and how powerful it is in terms of like he almost died, um,
yeah.
while he was fighting the guy. But then that was crazy when he like the defibrillator, like I guess gave him a little bit of
It's,
powers or whatever.
so jokes is like Iron Man. It's like, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Energy or power at 400%.
Yeah.
And then he went, open my power generator.
Iron Avenger. Yeah, pretty much. He like exploded. Um,
Yeah.
but what's also important is that it shows us that Strange didn't feel good about killing the guy.
Yeah.
He walked over his body and he put his pulse, and he didn't like the fact that he killed somebody. This is totally something that's goes against everything that he stood for in terms of being a surgeon and being a doctor.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm glad that they actually addressed that because it would have been good character progression or
Yeah.
character at all for Doctor Strange not to confront that feeling of guilt and self conflict. It would make him two dimensional character. But it goes into what the ancient one said, where like, how can you avoid that, right? Or if the guy is, how can you? If the guy's trying to
Yeah.
kill you, and your only option is to kill him, like, well, what else can you do? You know what I mean? Um, and this is how they mention um, Strange confronts her into using the dark arts, where it's like you don't have to worry about death because you're fucking cheating, bro. You're using the dark arts. You're being immortal right now. Immortal's like, what is this guy talking about? She's like, you know what I mean? She's like,
Game,
and Immortal's like, bet, and she's like, facts. It's like Immortal's like,
no.
what? And then the doctor's like, yo, no cap. she's not boosting at all. This girl's fucking being arms right
She was
now.
juicing.
Yeah.
She was juicing.
She's been juicing, man. She's been on Xanax. You know what I mean? She
Juice.
didn't know. She was on lean the entire time. And like this is where Mordo's like a little bit, taken back. Um
Yeah, he was like Drake. He's like, "Are you telling me you have the juice and the squeeze?"
yeah. All this time, you know what I mean? And you're
Yeah,
telling us the other, telling us otherwise when it comes to dark arts that it's forbidden, we shouldn't do it, and yet you've been doing it this entire time. Mordo
yeah,
felt a little betrayed, and he kind of felt what Caecilius felt, you know. But you got time for feelings, man. You got a fucking bad guy to chase, so they have to chase Caecilius to this fucking crazy. What was that, dude? That was nuts, right?
that was really nuts.
Like
Yeah,
I don't even know what the fuck
so
I was looking at.
much. It's like when Inception came out and showed that technology,
Oh yeah, when she was
and
like folding the fucking street and like yeah,
yeah,
it was like that.
so this is like on steroids. Of,
Yeah, like they're walking on the side of a building. So it's like
yeah.
fucking it's like waves, like fucking the sea, and then some of the
Oh,
fucking crossways are like 90-degree angle, and like you don't know where the fuck is
yeah,
going on. The walls are the streets, sidewalks are the fucking ceiling.
yeah.
um
The attention to detail is like when the cars go over the edge.
yeah,
It
it's like
it
that,
looks
right?
seamless, and you're like, what?
Yeah, dude. And
Yeah,
like there's so many things to look at because like in one scene where it just like zooms out like all the fucking streets, and it's like New York here, it's like built like a grid, so it's just like jumbled all together. And it must be interesting for a New York native to watch this and see some familiar streets
yeah,
being you know manipulated like this, right?
true.
Yeah. Toronto people, like, did you like Scott Pilgrim? Was that something that you resonated with you? Because you're like, oh, cool. I go to these places sometimes.
I haven't. I've been to Casa Loma. That's it.
Well, that's where they
Oh,
shot
on
the
set.
Chris Evans scene. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The Chris scene with the skateboard. That's
He was
so
godlike in
off.
that movie, dude.
Man. He's such a douche. He he could have played douchebags all this time, but he didn't.
Yeah, he had his stuntman. That was such a crazy, like,
Yeah,
fucking power that he had. Anyways, but yeah. You've been to Casa Loma, and that's
that's
You're
it.
you're a T dot boy, right? Or
Not
six
really.
six boy? Is that what it is?
Oh, not
Oh
any of
wow!
that.
Oh wow!
Ugh.
Let me guess, you're a free spirit.
Stop. I'm just free.
Nailed it. Ooh! Don't say that. That's bad in Marvel.
Yeah, I know. I'm not free.
this man is free.
Matchup 10-1. He's free.
to what? Um, but yeah, it's true. That super trippy chase scene, which was like the staple of the movie, pretty much of like illusions and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
But then the ancient one comes through and fucking makes a Super Smash Brothers stage in the middle, right? Fucking flying platform for them to fight
Uh,
on. Yeah, I was like, yo, this girl is fucking crazy. Um, but she fucking gets murked, dude. She gets stabbed,
yes.
right?
How did she get stabbed again? Through the other guy?
By Caecilius, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Did he
with the
stab his zealot as well?
yeah, I believe that she was fighting two zealots and he came out of nowhere, pretty much like stabbed her, and then they escaped um,
Oh, that's
through a portal, or I think Strange put him in the uh, through a portal, and then she fell and then goes to the bus shelter into real time. Remember,
oh
to the
yeah, yeah.
real world now. And this is where it's like, oh shit. Then he go back to the hospital
Oh my
to look
god.
for Christine again, and
What now?
yeah, a lot of people thought, wow, this is crazy. You're healing the ancient one with medicine. She's gonna pull through. She's gonna survive. But
Mm-mm.
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 What do they say? License registration. See, I'm just guessing. That's not what they say to us. Uh. Spread your cheeks and lift your sack.
Oh my god. Oh
Anyways, oh my god, Mr. Chappelle, I didn't know that was you. I should have lifted them sooner.
my. Yo, this is
Um,
why I don't like want to drive ever because I'm scared of being pulled over by the cops.
it's true. It's
And also, I actually went back to my parents the other week
mhm.
and found a very interesting document. It's my G1 test. The first time I took it.
Oh wow.
Sorry, the first 10 times that I took it.
Wait, what?
The first 10 times that I took it, I failed all of them. I spent all of my money.
On retaking that test?
Yeah, it's like $10 or like 15 every redo, and you have a maximum of 10 per day. Dude, I went in so confident because I was like, I don't need to read this fucking book.
Yeah, yeah, the ones that you get
Like,
from like Shoppers World.
this is common sense. Just don't kill anyone. And then they pull out the test, and you're like, what is that sign?
Yeah, they pull out like demerit points, like
Oh, and you're like, points? What do you mean?
yeah. I only know red means go, and
Yeah,
I mean, sorry,
like,
I already failed there. I said red means go.
yeah.
It's true. They put some, and then the passing point is like super high.
Yeah,
So
75, I think.
yeah, it's like Philippines. It's crazy. Did you pass it? Do you have your G1 now?
I went after like a few months. I went back. I got it on my first try, and I got 100%.
Ooh,
Yeah, I flexed. It was like what 20, 40 questions, 20 or 40.
21, I think. Many men, many
Ooh.
men. Um, wow. So do you have your G1 now?
Yeah, yeah, but it's about to actually it expired. This was 5 years ago.
Oh my god, dude! Just get a G2. You might as well just get a G2.
Yeah, I want to get a truck now so I can haul trees.
Absolutely, yeah. I can imagine you driving like an old Toyota truck. Like it's not heavy duty, but it has a bed. That's all you
Yeah,
need.
yeah, yeah, like Troy Bolton in High School Musical.
I mean, yeah, the same one that what's her name? Belle had in Twilight,
Oh,
like
word.
an old school truck, like an old school. Um, anyways, that's it. We went fucking
What were we talking about? Oh
we went
yeah,
off on that one. Um, But yeah, so the ancient one dies, and she
Yeah,
has
yeah, that
one
was
last
bad.
conversation with Strange, and she's like, "I've been watching this moment over and over again so many times, and I can't seem to see past it." And then now we find out that they can see the future, but they can't see what's after their death, which is why she never foresaw Strange's plan with the time stone, and she trusted Doctor Strange um, by giving it to the Hulk. She didn't know what it was, but she had an inclination like, hey, look, if Strange knows what he's talking about, then, I gotta do what I gotta do, right? And this is also goes into Strange's 14 million other multiverses, where he only saw one out of all those alternative alternative battles where he remembers after the dusting. He couldn't see past the dusting. That's what he's like.
That's crazy.
There's only one, right? Uh, which is why he had to give the stone, because he's like, I have to be dusted. This is one of the ways for me to see what's past my death is after the
Yeah,
dust, right? Fucking crazy. Um, the ancient one passes, and Strange learns one last lesson. It's never about him. It's not about him.
yeah.
Um, he can choose to go back to his old life, like the dude playing basketball, or he can fight for the greater good.
Wow.
That's
Hydra.
Hydra, parasitic. We have been living underground for years, Captain.
Oh shit.
Fucking Arvin Solo. Um, then fucking Doctor Strange is like fucking puts on the cape, right? He's like, flog,
Yeah.
let's get it. That's what he said.
X Factor.
Yeah,
Ah.
he goes to Hong Kong because that's the last sanctum that was being bombarded by fucking Caecilius, which is the last form of defense for this reality. And he's like, that was a crazy battle, by the way. Okay, because
Backward.
yeah, dude, like while things were going back, he's like fucking throwing hands with people, and people were like, one guy went into the fish tank because he was reverting back into a fish tank. Fucking the girl got knocked out by a fucking manhole cover. Um, Caecilius gets stuck in the wall. Like,
Yes.
yeah, dude. Like, imagine the effects for that.
Yeah.
Like, how do you fight while
Oh my
things are
god.
going back? Who thinks about that? Only in Doctor Strange that would be the
Yeah.
fight, you know. And it's about time. And
Yeah.
like Doctor Strange is like, yo, I gotta go meet this guy. I have to see this motherfucker. That's what he said. Enough
I
is
want to see
enough.
his
Yeah,
face.
yeah. Like somebody send me his address. I need to see this motherfucker. Like, and he goes. He goes to Dormammu, and he's like, the number one line, right? Dormammu, I've come to bargain. Dormammu doesn't bargain.
No.
He's the fucking lord of the dark dimension, man.
No.
Instantly, he like blasts him. Fucking power of the creator. Fucking
That's
instantly.
great.
You know what I mean?
Beam.
And
He
then
said, "Run."
Dormammu realizes, it's like, this is the same dude over and over again.
Yeah. What
He's like,
is this?
what is this? What is this madness? He's like,
Madness.
this is Sparta. He's like, what
This
is
is
this?
bargain, baby.
And he's like, I've come to bargain. I'm telling you, bro. How you gonna kill other people if you can't even get past me? How you gonna kill other
Yeah.
people, other
Can't.
planets, if you can't even get through me?
You're
Bro,
stuck.
you're stuck forever. Dormammu's like, and this is new to Dormammu because the concept of time doesn't exist in the dark dimension. He
Yeah.
has no idea what's happening. He has no idea what time is. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right? Doctor Strange is flexing on him. And he's taking all these L's, bro. Every time. A perfect. 7 golden letters every fucking time. Are you crazy? This guy took an L.
He
um,
did thousands of that, I think.
yeah. And this kind of reflects a lot of how um, uh, Mr. Fantastic defeated Galactus in the comics. He also made a deal with him. It was sort of the same thing. Time loop. Galactus had to eat Earth over and over again. And then he's like, I don't want this. I want to eat other stuff. And he's like, yeah, that's it. It's like eating spam every day. It's like, I kind of want to
Oh
eat
man, I've
something
been there.
else. Yeah.
I've been there.
It's good for like the first couple of days. And
But then everything is salty, and you're like, the walls are salty.
and your shit is
My
hard as
veg.
fuck. And you're like, yeah, it's like trying to squeeze out ice cream, like
Oh
really
my
frozen
god,
ice cream.
it hurts. That's
Um,
painful.
what did
That's
you what did
disgusting.
what did you think about that final confrontation? Did you see that coming? Was that something like this was totally
That's
unique?
yeah. Well, how do you stop something like that?
Cosmic being, yeah.
Yeah,
It's not like
you
Guardians of the
can't be
Galaxy where you
like
use a bomb or anything. You know.
no. Yeah, you can't just summon something to beat the other thing. It has to be like an unorthodox way of
hmm
yeah.
I thought it
So that was
was
cool.
yeah. I thought it was smart. That was really crazy. Like
Yeah, that's high level play.
high level,
That's
yeah, high level thinking, man, and like
yeah,
the concept of time. Like how much more can you bend it, really? And this is what they did. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um,
Because Dormammu doesn't have because the time stone is a lot stronger than Dormammu in the sense that it's one of the stones, right?
hmm Yeah,
So
much
it's
yeah,
always the trump card.
much like Dormammu, who has conquered death itself. It was time that was stopping him from doing that. He can't stop. He can't ask Strange to like cover his watch so he
Yeah,
can conquer death. Strange is like, no, nobody's covering this watch.
he said, "Draw it
yeah,
closer."
yeah. It's a Zordon.
He's
Right. Come on, guys, we have to go. Jose Canseco, yeah, Chicky Fried Rice. Oh man, shout outs to I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. Oh, old YouTube videos, man, the best. anyways, anyways, that's pretty much how it ended. Dormammu had to comply at the end of the day. He took off his zealots, and Doctor Strange had never stepped foot in Earth again. Or else he gonna
Yep,
take this L.
yep,
He flexed on him,
yep.
and
He can't. He doesn't have any. He has no anti for it.
yeah,
No tech.
no tech.
That's why he's like, all right, I guess.
Yeah, this guy was getting no points, zero
Yeah,
points. The one was like, I don't want this. This is training mode. No, I don't want
yeah,
this. I want ranked. It's like
yeah.
you can get ranked, but you gotta fuck off. And he's like, all right,
Yes.
scene. That's what he said. Scene. Their mom said scene.
He's.
Um,
Mhm.
and the ending is sort of a conversation with Baron Mordo. Mordo says, "Fuck this shit," right?
Yeah,
He said, I'm glad that you saved everyone, but you fuck nature up. This
yeah.
is not what we stood for as sorcerers. This is not what we're supposed to be doing. I'm out. He said, adios. Right? He said he did the SpongeBob meme. He said, all right, I'm out. Right? Wong, on the other hand, is like, gotta go back to the sanctum, man. This is the only thing I know what to do. So, whatever you gotta do, Strange, I'm with it. And
Wow.
they never really say that Strange is the new Sorcerer Supreme because he does put the Eye of Agamotto back in
Yeah,
the display, and it's probably too soon. Like she just died.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like calm down. You don't want to take over your throne that quickly.
yeah.
Um, but we already know he's looking out, and much like that window, he is the Eye of Agamotto for that city, and it pans out, and you kind of see the Avengers Tower. But by this time, we know that they already went upstate, and it's kind of
Yeah.
like a reassuring thing where it's like, don't worry, the Avengers are gone. but there's also another guardian here, um, in the other side of town,
Yep.
South Side. What is that? Bronx City.
What?
um,
Bleecker Street?
yeah, Bleecker Street. Where is that? Harlem?
Oh, that's I think that's Hoboken.
Oh
It's pretty
fuck,
far.
it's pretty far off. Fuck.
Herbs.
I don't know New York that well. I have a cousin that lives in the Bronx, and
Yes.
she thinks she's hardcore.
Ooh,
She kind of
Jenny.
is. She kind of is. She has, when your cousins are like better off in terms of like she had a TED talk. You know what I mean? Like her brother has a PhD, and you're like, she spent 3 years in Yemen helping the poor, and I'm like, I'm sick and Marvel though.
Links.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
Uh,
collude, like you're crazy good you're smart, but like can you plink dash? I don't think so. You know what I mean?
no, take him years.
Yeah, we're literally the same age. Um, if you're watching this, you're probably not. You're probably reading like intellectual books or something. But
That's
shout
funny.
outs to you, man. Can't wait to go to your wedding because you're rich and we get
Yes.
hammered. Anyways, yeah, mid credit scene is the scene from Ragnarok with Thor. Pretty funny, fully incorporating Doctor Strange within the Avengers slash MCU superhero lineup. And the hidden ending is Baron Mordo pays a visit to the dude that played basketball, and now
Yeah.
he's had too many sorcerers.
Oh my god.
He's purging some of these sorcerers of their power,
So
and
mean.
it's like it also gives us a little hint that there might be a lot of sorcerers hiding
Yeah.
within society, within like
Yeah. For sure.
communities and shit like that, um, which is also plays into the part where maybe mutants are also hiding, maybe enhanced people are also hiding, right? Opening
Yeah.
up so many more doors into enhanced beings and characters that we might see from you know because Mandarin from the comics practically uses mystical arts as well, right? So
That's sick.
yeah, crazy. Same thing with Iron Fist. Same thing with a lot of things. But yeah, what did you think about the movie? Was it better than before? Your first time watching it after the saga is done, or is it
Well,
worse?
I don't know. I've watched this a lot of, so at least like 5 times now.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, and I'm just like kind of over it
Oh wow.
at this point.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the hype was there. Do you think that
Yeah,
the movie brought the hype? Did it walk the walk?
hell yeah,
Yeah,
God, yeah,
I think so too.
yeah. The
Super.
cast was really good.
I was super concerned though, if you think about it, because for you, your depiction of Doctor Strange before this was Ultimate Marvel, which
Yeah,
I'm not saying that he's not cool there. He's just,
pretty
he's,
goofy there.
yeah, he's wearing a little, what are you wearing a little bit there? And
Dishwashing gloves.
yeah. And he talks a little weird. He like yells his spells out, and the things that he yells out are, it's not like, fire blast or anything like that. It's like fucking daggers of the
Specific
neck. Yeah, like who fucking says that? Eye of Agamotto. Like who says that?
grace of Haga. Grace of Haga.
Yeah. But I'm glad that they did this, and crazy how they used an American accent because um, in the comics he was from New York, but he was from like the 1960s. Doctor Strange was in like 50s and 60s. He was a doctor back then. He wasn't current. He wasn't, you know, um, 20 post millennium a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Um, just pretty crazy.
But did he have a British accent or no?
They never really mentioned that. I mean, it's in writing,
Oh,
right? You can't
yeah,
really put an accent on writing. Um,
true.
I think they kind of did that because maybe the spell sounded British or sounded better like that. But I do like the fact that they stuck with the American accent when it comes to Cumberbatch. He can do both either way, right? Uh, because what's his name? Baron Mordo has an English accent, and so does the Ancient One. Everyone else doesn't. Crazy.
That's true.
Um, Wrapping this
And
up, I'm just gonna go through the useless,
uh,
useless dive-ins that I kind of jotted down. Uh, some of these have more value than the others, so let's see. While talking to the Ancient One about the cell structure, Doctor Strange says that's bleeding edge technology, which is also the name of Tony Stark's armor in the comics. Bleeding edge armor. Pretty cool. Um, the
that's cool.
intro, the intro action sequence music evokes a lot of the score from The Matrix, um, which
Hmm.
talks a lot about reality, right? Because Matrix talks about what's real and what's not real. If you actually like put them side to side, it kind of sounds the same, like dun 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 dun. It's like the Trinity scene in the beginning where she's like fucking jumps up 360 kick. You know what I mean?
Hey,
She's like running through and all that stuff. And like even later on when Doctor Strange is walking on the side of the skyscraper, the office building, and it's like waves. It's like the
oh,
helicopter crash scene in the Matrix where it also made waves. Pretty cool.
interesting.
Yeah. Too
Yo, is
deep.
that for real? Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
Wow.
happened. Too deep. Too deep, guys.
That's very deep.
Strange keeps Christine's watch, much like how Cap keeps the broken compass with Peggy's picture, and they both use it as their guide and reminder. Pretty cool.
Wow.
Little parallels here. Um, the broken watch is stuck on February 2nd, the same day that the movie Groundhog Day was based on, with fucking what's his name, Bill Murray, uh,
Yeah, Bill Murray.
which is the same day over and over again, much like the time loop during the final
Wow.
confrontation. Pretty cool Easter egg.
Very cool.
During the opening your eye sequence, Strange touches a butterfly, which makes him fly all the way back, and this is the butterfly effect, um, which is one small action might cause a big reaction, right? That's what the butterfly effect was. Uh, if a butterfly flaps his wings a certain way, it might create small current that turns into tsunami.
Jeez. Well, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's what
Don't touch anything.
the origin of the butterfly effect was. Like an old myth that a butterfly flew a certain way and it snowballed into a tsunami. Rest in peace.
Makes a lot of sense though.
Yeah. The effects during the trip out scene has nods to Kubrick's Space Odyssey, which I'm guessing that he had a lot of influence from, and the movie Contact, especially when like Strange's face was like fucking going crazy. We see that
Yeah.
with Jodie Foster in the same movie. It's a pretty crazy movie. Um, yep. Talks about the multiverse. The Wi-Fi password is Shambhala, which is the title of the graphic novel from the Doctor Strange series that tells the story of the Ancient One dying.
Oh, Shambhala.
Shambhala,
Nice.
yeah, pretty cool. Which is what also happens in this movie.
Wow. So comic fans came in there and they were like, "Oh, she's gonna die."
Probably, yeah, when they saw Shambhala.
Yeah.
Um, when Wong introduces himself, Strange replies, "Just Wong." This could be an ode to Marvel Evo champ Justin Wong. I don't know why I wrote that, but
Yo, please let it be.
you think so? I mean,
That would be so funny.
he could have
Well,
said only Wong, but he said just Wong.
yeah. Well, here's the thing. Ultimate Marvel 3, the Deadpool character, when he faces Magneto and he wins, the win quote is it references Yipes.
Oh wow!
Like
Maybe.
something. It's like, where's your curly mustache at?
Oh. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's why. Wow, that's a
That's actually nuts to be like shouted out as a commentator.
yeah. Well, because Yipes was like number one champion for Marvel 2, right? So I guess they had
Yeah.
to put like a little bit of esports FGC Easter egg there, but that's big, dude. That's just as
Yes. Yeah.
big as like Jadakiss shouting him out. You know what I mean? Aha! It's Marvel, baby. You know
No way.
that's
What?
Jadakiss. Just Jadakiss voice when he says it's Marvel, baby. Aha! Yeah,
Yo, that's bad.
yeah. Because I think he went to like one of like the New York because he's from New York, right? He went to like one of the locals there, and he met
For a village.
Yipes. Yeah, and there's a video of him going like, "Check out my man Ifs Yipes." He says Ifs Yipes. Ifs Yipes for that Marvel 2, baby. Ah, it's Marvel. A kiss of death.
I
Shout
am
outs,
fucking dying.
shout outs to Jada Kiss, man. Um,
They say that you deserved it whenever you die with your eyes open.
wow, this guy is repping bars from Jadakiss right now. Oh my
Come
god!
on.
Shout outs to LOX. Shout outs to, to D Block. Shout outs to you know what I mean.
Oh,
Oh
my
man, money, power, respect. Money, power, respect. Money, power, respect.
God.
Um, all right. So
Wow.
the books are chained up. This is how they were in the medieval times, and some old books in the current Oxford Library. Pretty cool. There's an empty spot for a missing book if you look at the library. Um, this might be the Darkhold book that appeared in Marvel's Agents of Shield. So
Oh,
that one arc for the Agents of Shield was a book, the Darkhold book, that took you to a different dimension. So people are saying this is where it probably was from.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how they got it, but it was through Hydra, I think, or something like that. Strange eats an apple while doing forbidden arts, much like how it's considered to be the forbidden fruit. Mm, little connection there. This is why that's in the useless pile, where it's like, all right, that's
Interesting.
neat. That's neat. That's what you say, right? That's neat. Um,
Cool.
during the fight against Caecilius, Strange tries to use a glowing vase, and then Caecilius like, "Do you know how to use that?" He's like, "No." In the comics, this is used as a teleportation device to meet with Mephisto. Cool.
How do you get in there?
I don't know. I think you cast the
Just go.
spell. Uh, I don't know. I think
Like,
it opens up because it was glowing from
oh,
the inside, right, or something. I don't know, but he could. They could.
right.
We could have met Mephisto right then and there. He could have
Man,
helped or something. Um,
Mephisto confirmed.
Mephisto for real, which means Dark. Sorry, what's his name? Uh, Ghost Rider
Just
confirmed.
oh, oh,
That's
go.
the deal that he makes, right?
Yeah.
Um, the binding thing that holds Caecilius is called the Crimson Bindings of Sidorak.
Ooh.
Yeah, but in the
Crimson Bind. Wow. How do
yeah,
you even say that?
I think in the comics that's what Strange uses in his level 3 to bind you uh,
Uh,
while he summons the four Eye of Agamottos. Yeah.
that's crazy.
So in the comics, it's like a red. It's a spell in the comics, but here it's a relic.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah. When Christine was operating on Strange, it parallels Stark when he needed help changing his heart and had Pepper help him. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta the
Yeah.
Bay, right? The
Yeah.
waifu. Gotta get the waifu to help.
This is when Iron Man really wasn't that popular anymore, like as a standalone movie. So
Hmm.
they needed like something to replace that. And they were like, at this point, in the Marvel company, they're like, we're trying to bow Iron Man out and the old Avengers out and like get these new people in. So
New phase, yeah.
so Doctor Strange was kind of like, their intended Iron Man refresher for the generation.
Yeah, a little reminder that this type of like Iron Man as a character can be put into a different type of shell, mystic art shell, but same type of egotistical, you know,
Yeah,
needs to eat humble pie type of thing. Yeah, and they kind of clash a little bit. They call each other douchebags in Infinity
yeah.
War, right? What do you do besides making balloon animals, protecting your reality, douchebag?
Like, ooh, good
Um,
job.
yeah, for real. Um, when Mordo explains the relics, Strange says the names just roll off the tongue. This is a jab at how ridiculous some of these relics and techniques sound.
Yeah,
You're pretty familiar with them. And a lot of comic people are familiar with them. They're not necessarily the most nicest sounding spells ever. Eye of
no.
Agamotto, bolts of
Balls of ball sack.
bolts of ballsack. Like who the you know the by
Balls,
the
balls
was it by the harrowing ghosts of Hoggetts. Like what
by
is
the
that?
hoary ghost
There
Hoggeth.
we go. Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. Hoary ghost. Like he's a whore
Horror. Back to
by the
that.
horror ghost of Hogarth.
3,000 songs on 2 CDs.
Yeah.
Ryan Styles is low key too, man. Like obviously, you know, uh, Colin Buckery is like the goat, but there's some Ryan Styles. There's
Of
some of
course.
his jokes that are like, what was that? The Queen pickup lines for the Queen, and he's like, "I like your stamps all the time." I'm like, dude, I'm fucking dying, dude. Like, you know what I mean? He's so good, dude. Okay, let's finish this out. Stanley cameos as a transit bus passenger reading a book about cosmic artwork, the same book that influenced the art style for Strange's comic. Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
What is it called? The
Yeah, I know it's
the
by Steve Ditko, I think, or something like that.
something of perception.
Yeah,
Doors of perception.
yeah. It's about like drug trips as well. Apparently,
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
guy just took a bunch of like LSD
Yeah.
and wrote on it, right?
That, yeah, that's usually how like honestly, I've met a lot of artists who like to paint and like do illustrations and shit, and they all have one thing in common.
They love hallucinogens. Yeah, yeah.
They like have or are recovering from it or like
That's so sad. I think they're recovering from it.
yeah, because like some of them like they're really fried when I knew them back in school, right?
Oh yeah.
And now that like reality is setting in, it's like
It's like, dude, I gotta get my shit together. I gotta get my shit together. But one more bump though. Right, that's
yeah,
what they
yeah.
say.
Well, now they're trying to microdose, and it's like
Just stick to Kush, man. You don't need that.
easier,
You don't need that.
easier.
Yeah. Um. Last one here is there's a small PSA about distracted driving at the very end of the credits.
Mm,
And this also applies when Strange says the warnings come after the spells. Kind of jokes out. The warning for distracted driving
that's
came after.
actually quite the find.
Yeah, guys, that was our analysis on
Sure.
Doctor Strange. I know that there was a lot of bumps on the way, a lot of times that we go out of topic. But let us know what you think, guys. Let us know how much you enjoyed it. Let us know the things that we missed, things that we kind of overshot, overanalyzed, maybe some things that we got super wrong when it comes to the comic book references. We're not experts here. I'm just a dude that is chilling on life.
Same.
We're not. What's his name again? Who's that big comic guy?
Ooh,
The guy from Clerks or whatever.
Ryan Reynolds.
No, I forgot his name. But yeah, we're not that guy. We're not experts on comic books. We just enjoy
Oh,
movies and we enjoy the MCU. And I don't know if I should shout them out, but there's a lot of people out there that love to bash the MCU because they don't know how to have fun. They want to be miserable their whole life,
yep.
and it's crazy. And as long as you
It's
accept
sad.
it, man. Yeah, this is, not everything has to be Oscar nominated. I know that a lot of people love movies and they're like, it's not like The Godfather or Scarface or all
Yeah,
this crazy shit. Like,
yeah,
no. Sometimes you want to have fun. It's a superhero movie. What did you
yeah.
expect?
Just gotta appreciate things for what they are.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Not everything has to be fucking
Yeah.
a masterpiece, or I'm not saying
Yeah.
Doctor Strange isn't a masterpiece, but it did the job. Uh, like it did it well enough for it to be above average, or even greater than above average. You know, I wasn't
That's
asking for
pretty.
drama. I wasn't asking for a horror movie. A horror. I was asking for fucking Mystic Arts, and we got Mystic Arts, right?
Horror movie.
Yeah. But let us know, guys. The next movie analysis that we are going to be doing is Galaxy of the Guardians Volume
Wow.
2. Guys, dude, we're at phase 3, man. We're almost done. Um, I don't know what to say after this. This is like saying goodbye after, but we're almost there. The next movie we're doing is Guardians of the Galaxy. It should be pretty good. This is actually 2 hours. We did 2 hours today. I'm 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 proud
Two
of us.
hours?
Yeah, this is two.
No, the third hour. We started at 8.
he's he's so he's so skeptical. No, see, right now it says an
No,
hour and 3 minutes, and our last footage was an hour and 12 minutes. So it's
so we
a
talked
little bit over an hour. It's like 2 hours and
over.
15 minutes. Yeah,
Word.
there was a
Well, that's
yeah.
that's good.
Yeah, we're making some progress here in terms of like
Nice.
keeping on track and stuff. But guys, let us know what you think, and we'll catch you again next week for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace.